record,
All right,
should be starting.
Dan. So I wanted to ask you a question because, as you know, my team's in the World Series, and you and me have the potential to be facing each other in the World Series. If your Yankees pull it out, come back and take the lead, and then take over and go to a World Series, which you said you believe would happen because you said the Yankees would go.
He did pick the Yankees.
Okay, yeah, I want me and Dan to have our picks right now to who would win a Nats Yankees World Series.
How many games?
Yankees in 5.
Yankees in 5. That is fast. That is faster than you gave them to beat the Astros. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like though I'm
just know-
completely not biased about this because when I watched baseball, I did not like either of these teams. So I'm gonna say this much: if the Yankees beat the brakes off your starters, you're done.
Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong. If the
two home runs, I guarantee you they pull them.
Oh, if our starters can't pitch to the Yankees, we have nothing else to back us up. Basically, we have hitting, sure, but we only hit well if our starters pitch well. So,
True.
It's not like our starters can. I mean, they've carried us this far. Whether they can carry us after a week off, I don't know.
The AL is winning the World Series no matter who goes. If the Yankees go or if the Astros go.
You
They
really?
are the better team.
Okay. So let's say this. You have the Nats over. You have the Yankees over the Nats in 5. If the Astros win, who do you have?
Astros in 5.
Astros in 5 as well. So you don't.
So
you
you
give the
honestly
Nats
think-
one single game.
I give them the first game of the series, and then either the Yankees
Really?
are taking 4 straight, or the Astros are taking 4 straight.
So you give them the first.
Technically-
Wait, you give them the first game. Why do you give them the first game though?
Because I don't know if it'll be in DC first, but they'll
No,
just.
it's
Oh
gonna
no,
be.
it's gonna be in whatever AL.
No, because technically, the who won the All-Star game because that's how
The
they
AL
do it,
did.
which is stupid.
The AL
By
won
the
the
way.
All-Star game.
So therefore, they'll have home field. They'll have a home field advantage.
They'll have first 2 games. If the
Yeah.
Nats, I'm gonna say this much: if the Nats take a game from AL in first 2, like if they take a game on
Yeah.
the road,
Yeah.
yo, that's gonna be a series.
Like
All
they
I'm
did
saying.
the same thing they did in LA. Basically, they took game 2 of the 5-game series, and then they took game 4, I
See,
think,
now,
and
even
then they
with
went back.
baseball,
And won.
it's like for the away team, for whoever the non-home field advantage team is,
Yeah,
it's almost even like that. That saying that
I feel like.
Take
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
take one game on the road, right? That's like
Yeah,
the saying.
yeah, that's
it's
a big
even
deal.
more important at that point. If you take one game on the road and you win out
yeah.
at home, the series is over.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's huge. That's why I mean, taking both games in St. Louis. I mean, the Nats had every ability to win.
That was it. Once that
that was.
happened,
I felt
yeah.
like there's. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I almost felt like we were guaranteed to go because taking 2 in St. Louis, that was incredible. But
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think if like the Nats, like Dan has the Nats taking 1 in either Yankee in New York or in Texas, right? So. And if that happens, I give the Nats more than 5 games. I don't think they'll get like swept the rest of the series. I would think they win at least 1 at home, which would make it automatically 6 games. And I would give them, especially if they have like, is the World Series 2-3-1 as well?
2-3-2.
2-3-2. Sorry. Okay, so the World Series is that as well. Okay, so I would give the Nats at least 1 at home, maybe 2 if they're on if they had already won one of the games and they were on a streak or something and feeling it. But I'd even give them 1 more at away as well.
I think the Nats, if they want to win, just because of how dominant both of these AL teams are at home, like looking at their record,
Yeah.
they don't take 1 game on the road on the first 2 games.
Yeah.
They're not.
It'll be hard, that's
They're
for
done.
sure.
They're
Look,
done.
here's the thing that for both of these teams, it doesn't really matter which one because both of them hit extremely well. So it doesn't really matter who you pick in terms of hitting. But the Nats pitching has to carry them. That's just a fact. If they can't pitch to either team, then the series is over automatically. But they can't, in my opinion, because both teams have better bullpens than the Nats. They can't let the game series go too long. It's going to have to be, which I don't think they really have a choice in that matter. I think it is going to be a long series because that's the World Series. Most of the time it's pretty long. The Nats hitting probably isn't as good as either team's hitting in terms of like all throughout the order because the Yankees and Astros have like their entire order can hit pretty much. But
Yeah.
if the Nats are on a roll and they're feeling it, they have sometimes I think they even have better hitting than any team in the MLB. And so I mean, I know the Yankees have really good hitting. I get it. And so did Astros. I get it. But if you've watched the Nats at all and they are like actually feeling it, and
It's like when they're on, they're on.
they are so on. Every single person seems to be able to hit on their team. It doesn't matter. Even the pitcher can sometimes hit.
Yo, I saw when I was also watching, like, when I was keeping up with the Gamecast. The pitcher was laying down sacks perfectly.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that's again in the end. I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna sound stupid. In the World Series, they follow AL rules, right? The pitcher doesn't hit.
Yep.
No.
Or is that at home? Is it
whoever's at home?
Whoever's at home gets their rules. Okay, so then I don't know what will happen at that point, but I think when it comes down to it, you look at it and you say the Nats have their best thing is their pitching. Their bullpen is very weak past the first two players in their bullpen and their closer. Their hitting has to be good enough to compete with them in order for them to have a chance in that series. I don't give them a chance against either team. I think they still lose against both teams because they're just better teams in general. But I would not give. I make it at least 6 games. I wouldn't just do 5.
I'm gonna say that
What's up?
for the Nats to win, they gotta win in 5.
Okay.
After the 5, it's over. If it gets back,
If it gets
if they are down 3-2 and it goes to Game 6,
it's
they're
gonna
done.
be rough.
Period. No, they're done. Period.
Yeah, I would
don't
probably
see a
be
scenario
inclined
where they
to
win.
agree with that. I think the Yankees
Unless,
will be
like,
hungrier than the Astros will be.
No.
Well, the Astros won a World Series recently. Was it last year or the year before that?
Yeah, but you got a lot of new guys on. Even though it's like the same core, there's a lot of new guys who really.
I know,
too,
but like it seems to me, unless a team's just light years beyond everyone, like the Patriots and the Warriors have been, and like besides those two teams, unless they're like light years behind everyone in skill, it always seems to me the hungrier of the two teams, or more, the hungrier of the two teams tends to either start out better or at least win.
Well, if that's the case, then the Nationals will win.
Well, no, I meant in terms of Astros Yankees because I still don't
Okay.
think the Nats win either way. But I think because of the Nats or because of the
I'll
Astros and
never
Yankees.
count out an underdog. I've seen, like when I watched hockey, when my team Pittsburgh was in finals against the Predators. Predators were the 8 seed. They were the only 8 seed to ever make it that far.
That's
And
crazy.
they got ripped. I won't even lie. They got ripped off. There should have been easily 7. And Penguins probably should have lost because there were a lot of blown calls.
Right. Well,
They
that's
were
in every game.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying like honestly, I think the Predators got ripped off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly after I saw that, I saw Pittsburgh win. Yeah, I was happy because whenever
Of course.
cool. But man, I realized after I was like, oh my god, we should have lost.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I was just the Nats made it from the wild card. Can't count them out. They're there. They're there to play.
They're there. They earned it. It's just, did they play
see
anyone
how
of
they
the
play.
caliber of these two teams? The only teams that they played of the
LA's
same
the only
caliber
team-
was LA.
Besides Kershaw.
Yeah, obviously, but
Kershaw choked.
Kershaw
But
choked,
the
but he
rest of
always
that team
choked.
is okay.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: Bellinger and Seager were non-existent in that series, pretty much. Bellinger had 1 home run, and his game. I think the game 5, he went 0 for 5.
So your
And-
pitching shut him down. In that.
So our pitching
That's
shut him
what
down,
happened.
exactly, and Seager as well. But the problem, that's the closest team the Nats played in the playoffs to either caliber, Yankees or Astros. Now, obviously, they don't have to play both; they only have to play the Yankees or Astros, which is good for them. But I think because they had the experience of playing the Dodgers, they'll know how hard it is just to beat a team of that caliber. And I think it's going to be interesting. Although, depending on how long this Astros-Yankees the series goes, if it goes all the way to 7 or, the Astros sweep the next 2, I think the Astros and Yankees will be used to playing a team who has that good of hitting, right? And I think it'll be interesting to see if the Astros or the Yankees, whether they come out just absolutely swinging on the Nats because they've been playing a team who's just as good as each other, right? So, but the Nats have better. I think the Nats have a better 4 pitchers than either team, though. Which I honestly believe that Yankees or Astros, and I think that's going to be a key factor in the series.
I looked up your stats, and that's Garrett Cole, which means you see Garrett Cole a lot. So yeah, if the Astros make it, there's a game.
Right.
Because when they played the Pirates, he still smacked the shit out of them. Period. But I'm going to say this much, though. if the Nats have to wait, say the series goes 7.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised. I'm not predicting because I don't think that series will go 7. I think it'll be 6.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if the Nats get swept.
Oh, no, look, no, here's the thing. I hate the fact they have to wait as long as they do. And I think we're going to come out because the Nats have had these streaks.
They're going to look like
and they're going to look awful. Just as bad as the Cardinals did in like the last 2 games of the series because the Nats are a very streaky team this year. We, at one point, there was a 2-week stretch where we were smashing every team. Didn't matter who we played, smashing them by massive numbers. And then we got another week or 2 got killed, just absolutely couldn't hit a thing. And we're a very streaky team, and that's how we made it to the playoffs because we had enough good streaks happen that outweighed the bad ones. And I think because of that, it's going to highly affect whether or not we come out swinging or whether we look flat as hell. Because we'll eventually build up back to it, but will it be too late by the time we built up back to that? Will we have lost 3 already and the series is already over? Will it be second half of the first game and we're like, okay, we're back? You know, I mean, it really, I think it just depends how fast the Nats realize, hey, it's the World freaking Series.
Time to show up, guys.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of just the way I view it. I don't think they win. I haven't thought they'd win any series, so I've been wrong every single time. I predict it'll be the Yankees.
Keep predicting against them. It might happen.
That's the thing, though. Every time I predict towards them, every time I think they're gonna lose, they win, and yet I still don't think they have enough they have enough ability to beat them. Either team. I just don't see it happening. Now, I'm not saying that because I want them to win. Of course I want them to win. I just literally don't see how they could. Unless, again, some miracles happen.
You see more going wrong.
Exactly. I see the week off killing them. I see the hitting not being able to do a thing. I see the pitching not being substantially as amazing it has been against both teams' incredible batting lineups. I don't see how it'd be really all that viable to pick them in the World Series. Maybe they could take it to a Game 7, and if they do, that's really bad for them. But again, what do they have to lose? They've made it this far. Everybody's going to be happy whether they win or not. It doesn't matter for the Washington fan base. They got this far. It's their first World Series. They have nothing to lose. And for teams who have nothing to lose, that's a big deal. The Astros have a lot to lose. They're supposed to win. The Yankees are supposed to be in the World Series like every other year, apparently, because they're the Yankees. So, I mean both of those teams have a lot to lose. Big payrolls on both teams. The Nats do not have a huge payroll, and yet they're here. So, I mean, they have nothing to lose.
All right. So we won't make any true predictions. We'll let this round finish up before we make any.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe the Astros don't hit well, but their pitching carries them. We'll see.
Maybe.
You never know.
And Cole joins. Welcome, Cole.
Wow, you're late. Get out.
Get over it.
Get out.
Hey. Calm down.
Get out.
Cole, real quick, because we're doing our.
Yeah, we are talking about.
We were just.
First of all, Nats making it through already.
Yeah,
I mean, they swept.
That. And then we want to get your opinion. Who do you believe wins, the Astros or the Yankees?
Probably the Astros.
All right, so you're picking against Dan. Dan has the Yankees, and then he has the Yankees in 5 against the Nats. But we won't make the official prediction on that yet. But
we'll wait for World Series because it should. I think the series should be over. From what I'm reading, the series should be over in like 3 days, but I don't know whether that's true or
if
not.
the Astros win like the next 2, right?
No. They're saying if it goes to Game 7, it'll be played on October 20th.
Oh, they're trying to get it done fast, is what they're saying.
Yeah, they're trying to honestly go back to back to back to back, which I think
that's kind of dumb. That's not really fair to
Whatever.
them, but whatever. The Nats have to wait too.